What's up, Simonics? Welcome to a new
app review.
Today we're going to take a look at two special applications because application number one is actually the project I've been working on over the last couple of months, weeks, well, a lot of time, and that I've shared with you in some previous episodes as well. It is the KICKOFF IONIC project. Besides that, I also want to show you an application that a friend of mine developed, which is also an application for developers. So this app review is really focused on you developers. Okay, here it is, finally released, KICKOFFIONIC.com. Go visit it, check it out, free account, you can get started completely for free. It's actually not really an application on a mobile device because this just wouldn't work, but it's an application to create applications, so I thought it would kind of fit into app review and perhaps I can review my own stuff. Actually, I think this is one of the best landing pages in general UI things that I've developed for a long time. It is pretty clear, although I already don't like how close everything is together in here. But anyway, there's also now an embedded preview of the application that you can generate with this creator. It's actually hosted on Versal, I think the service is called. I can't remember, so really a lot of services combined together. Anyway, let's take a look at it. At the inside, as I said, you can get started completely for free, and I already got an account for which I completely forgot my login. And once you're in your account, you can now basically only create one thing, a new Ionic project. Let's give this an epic name and get started. This will bring you to an editor in which you can basically configure your whole Ionic application and in the end export clean code, structured code, best practices applied, and a lot of things already configured. For example, you could now paste in your Firebase configuration and will immediately inject it in the environment. All the Angular Fire packages and Firebase packages will be installed. The import statements to the app module will be made. We could automatically enable progressive web app and a service worker, and in the future, in a next release, I try to create a Nest.js backend as well, and also some other things like WordPress integration, like just giving in your main WordPress domain and then creating an app based on this. But for now, the important part follows afterwards, and that is the entity editor, for example, in which you can set up entities. These will in the end be interfaces and also services. So you get a really nice structure in your application that we can take a look on. Let's just keep these two for now. You can also select a navigation template just like you can with the Ionic Start command. And whenever you see a little star, this is the pro version of this tool. You can go pro. It is currently discounted, so if you want to support the project, support me, or just want to use all the functionalities of this project, you can and should go pro. So let's stick to the tabs layout. We can also generate an additional introduction page. There are just a few things that I already implemented that I think are important in a lot of projects. Of course, pick a theme, for example a dark theme, and many more themes coming soon. In terms of code snippets, this is just something I thought would be really helpful because there are a lot of tutorials and quick wins out there, and it's sometimes really tricky to implement from that tutorial the specific functionalities in your app and bringing everything together. So I thought, why not integrate these snippets already in your project? For example, the Tinder gesture we had, like a data table based on the Ionic grid, whatever, a Pinterest kind of layout, which is loading now. A bit slow connection these days. These snippets are things you can just check on and they will be integrated completely in your Ionic application. On top of that, of course, if you're using a service like Firebase or in the end Nest.js, a cool authentication will be great in your application, and yes, you can add this right out of the box. And once you're done, just hit Save Settings, check out what will be generated and start your app export. And in a matter of really seconds, I would say, perhaps if you all now go to the page and export, perhaps it might take a few minutes, but you will receive everything by email. Let's check it out. Okay, so once you receive the lucky email that you can download your project, you can go ahead and install all the dependencies for your project. As you can see, we got exactly the entities that we defined up here. So book and author are now an authentication author service and a TypeScript interface, like here and here. And the service also makes use of Angular Fire, since we selected it in the beginning, and has all the basic CRUD operations directly defined in here and uses the types of our interfaces. Additionally, of course, all the pages that we have a tab layout, we have the snippets with the selected snippets, we have list and details pages for all the entities that we define, and of course all the app routing in place with potential guards applied if you're using an authentication template. So all of this is my latest project. I've been working on this for really a lot of time, and I would love to get your opinion on this topic. Just check it out, KICKOFFIONIC.com. As I said, create an account for free, try and export. If you want more functionalities or support this project, you can go pro. It is currently discounted for a yearly license, and I would love to see you in this tool. And also, of course, let me know if you get any wishes for the future. You can submit ideas to our roadmap, which already has a few cards, so just let me know. The second app I wanted to show you is called To-Dev-List, because it's a to-do app for developers. It's available on iOS App Store and Google Play as well, and I know this app was built with Ionic and for the backend Nest.js. So really the combination I also prefer and recommend currently. So let's try and see what Dimitrios was working on in this application. I think I will actually use the application version. So let's try this one out. I've already created an account for this application, but the first thing I notice is on the login screen, I can actually pull down this page and see the ugly white background. I think there's a setting within Ionic to disable this, although it is kind of a native setting that allows to pull these pages down. But I still don't really like to see this, and it just doesn't feel right to me on the login screen. Besides that, I like that there's actually a small animation, as you can see with here bumping up and down, and I think he also used my Apple tutorial, so of course a great application if it implements Apple sign-in. Now the welcome page is I think okay, perhaps a bit crowdy. So we got a lot of text on this page directly here. It's good to have example right here, but overall there are really a lot of text elements and my brain really needs to work what is going on. I think the first page of your application could be a bit more structured or empty with just a few elements guiding you what you should do next. So right now I feel this is already a bit crowded, and I kinda don't like that everything is center aligned while these two are not center aligned. So they should also be aligned in the middle of the page. Anyway, let's see what we got in the menu. I really like that menu because it doesn't look like the standard menu, I would say, with the icon at the top and a lot of space between the elements. I think that is really cool. Besides that, I feel like it's kind of like the Todoist application. Perhaps that's also where the name came from. So let's see. Actually, there is a shadow on that card. I don't know why it is not showing like this. So perhaps it looks a bit strange to you, but let's see. Once we got in here, I think the UI in general is pretty clear. We got a lot of white on the screen. We can see which are completed or open. So really good usage of certain accent colors in the right spots. Yeah, we got the standard like swipe to delete or reschedule, but actually as far as I know there aren't by now elements to really implement slide to delete. So right now I can just open it and have to click it once again. But if you know the native iOS application for email or so, you can completely swipe it to the side and out. And that is something I really like, and I'm by now not a huge fan of swiping these things open and clicking once again. I just really want to use that one. This seems to be a toggle to complete the project, which I actually find not very clear. And of course working on it is fine so far. Okay, let's get back. Project has been updated, looks great. Let's take a look at the different other screens. We got dark mode. Of course, let's go for dark mode. If you have a label and long text, always make sure that it's fitting into your labels with text wrap. I don't want to lock out now. tasks seem to be this circle, and there seems to be a function to reschedule tasks. I will just press it. I have no idea what is going on now, but the reschedule function only works with this overlay calendar kind of thing. I don't know if it's for regular tasks as well. Let's try to create a task, and yeah, okay. In that case, I actually get a nice calendar because that's what I expected. Would be cool to see perhaps even if there are already things scheduled for a specific date, and the header, I'm not sure if that text should be right at the bottom of that box. I think it should be in the center, but these are just small issues, and I feel like I don't know if these icons have to be really dark in dark mode. I'm not sure. I think they could actually still be white, but anyway, I think the upgraded subscription is already live. So if you're interested in this project, you can support it and go pro. I guess not from a mobile application, so you can't change your package in here, but that would work on the web version, I guess. All in all, you can see that the developer really put some effort into this application, as some views really seem to appear. So sometimes the button comes up from the bottom and this fades in smooth. That always shows that somebody really took care of implementing these things from a UI perspective as well. In general, I think the application is pretty cool. I haven't used it a lot because I'm stick to my Todoist application for years now and I just can't change. But if you're looking as a developer for a new application to manage your projects and the different tasks in a project, why not give this kinda indie project a try? It looks pretty clear to me. It is free, so the basic version is completely free. You can see the progress of your features. It has a dark mode. It is developed with Ionic and Nest.js, and that's really what you can do with these or with this technology stack. Alright, that's it already for today's app review. I wanted to keep this episode short and really introduce you to these cool two projects. Well, the first one is my own, so of course it's cool, but also the second, since I really enjoyed this technology stack, and actually the KICKOFF IONIC project is also based on that stack. So two projects built with Angular and Nest.js, the one also using Ionic. I kinda use Ionic because I create Ionic templates, but in the end, it's really my preferred technology stack at the moment. I would love to get your opinion on this tool. Check it out, kickoffionic.com. Generate a few templates and let me know if you got any questions or any feature requests for the future. And if you want to support me, you know, just go pro. Also check out ToDevList to support another indie creator of cool applications, and leave a nice review if you enjoyed the application. As always, feel free to submit your own applications below. I got this show running basically every month, and by now I actually get a lot of requests for doing a paid review, which is kind of funny because I currently randomly select from the list of applications that I have the ones that I review, especially the ones from the Ionic Academy members sometimes, or in this case focused on a technology stack. So I recommend go out this week and build something cool. Check out these projects so you can kick off your next Ionic project a lot faster, and then I will catch you next week for another episode. So stay healthy, enjoy your week, and happy coding. Simon.